When a chosen one hesitates, questioning his own ability or destiny, God reaffirms with conviction, "I already knew you." When calling a chosen one to his divine mission, even if he tries to dodge, God clearly reminds him, "O chosen one, do you doubt my selection?" God emphasizes that even before his conception, he already had knowledge and plans for him, indicating that his choice was never a surprise. During development in the womb, we absorb genetic information that defines our characteristics. This 9-month process is essential for complete development. Premature births can lead to complications. This is reflected in the story of a narrator whose children, born prematurely, faced health difficulties and did not survive. This narrative reveals that before we had any physical form, before our bones were even formed or our features defined, God already knew us and had a purpose for our lives. He was aware of our inclinations and natures. The lesson here for the chosen ones is that our existence is no accident. Before we were born, before we were visible to human eyes, God already had us in his plans. Many may plan their families, use contraceptive methods, and some births may occur without planning. However, regardless of how we come into the world, our existence was intentionally willed by God. God assures each of the chosen ones that before our physical formation, he already knew us deeply. He doesn't need time to get to know us, as people often think, according to the saying that to really know someone, you have to share a kilo of salt with them. God knows us intimately, more deeply than anyone else could, because he is by our side at all times and in all circumstances, guiding us and illuminating our path as chosen ones. So here are the reasons why the chosen are called by God. You don't care what the world thinks about you. You truly recognize what matters to you. When this is clear, the opinion of others becomes irrelevant. This clarity allows you to say no when necessary, prioritizing what really adds value to your journey. It is at this point that you begin to live by your own rules, in line with your values and convictions. Honesty with yourself becomes your compass, guiding your every step with integrity and courage. You free yourself from other people's expectations and allow yourself to live according to your true self. You become more confident and determined. Every decision you make is based on your own values and beliefs, not on the expectations of others. This creates a deep sense of freedom and authenticity in your life. With this clarity and self-confidence, you attract people and opportunities that resonate with your true essence. You surround yourself with genuine relationships and experiences that enrich your journey, further strengthening your purpose. You allow yourself to explore new possibilities and follow your heart, knowing that you are on the right path. The courage to be true to yourself inspires others to do the same, creating a positive impact around you. You continue to grow and evolve. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to delve even deeper into your self-knowledge and resilience. You become a master of discerning what is really important and letting go of what no longer serves your purpose. This journey of authenticity brings inner peace and satisfaction. You no longer worry about pleasing everyone, but focus on being true to your own path. Your life becomes a reflection of your true passions and convictions, and this brings you deep and lasting joy. You begin to realize that by living according to your own values, you contribute to a better world. Your authenticity and integrity inspire others to also seek their truth and live in a way that is more in line with who they really are. You become a living example of how it is possible to live a full and meaningful life, not based on the expectations of others, but founded on your own truth. And so you continue to walk your path with courage, wisdom, and a deep sense of purpose. You have no room for toxicity in your life. With clarity about what really matters to you, it becomes clear that any form of negativity or manipulation doesn't deserve your energy. You surround yourself with people and situations that lift your spirit and contribute positively to your journey. You understand that toxicity drains your energy and impedes your progress. Therefore, you choose to invest your time and effort in relationships and activities that resonate with your purpose and values. This conscious choice gives you a more balanced and satisfying life. God's will is your will. You think the same way as God. You want the same things as God. When you align your will with God's, you access an incredible source of strength and guidance. This connection means that your desires are pure and reflect a greater purpose. By wanting the same things that God wants, you become an instrument of divine love and light in the world. This harmony between your will and God's will brings deep inner peace and a sense of fulfillment that nothing else can provide. You become a vessel of divine intention, reflecting God's love and compassion in your actions and decisions. This alignment allows you to move through life with a sense of certainty and peace, knowing that your path is blessed and guided by a higher power. Embracing God's will means that you are open to divine inspiration, ready to act with kindness, patience, and understanding in everything. As you continued to align yourself with God's will, you became more receptive to divine signs and messages, learning to interpret synchronicities and moments of intuition as confirmations of your spiritual path. This strengthened your faith and deepened your commitment to living according to divine principles, knowing that every decision made under this guidance contributed to the evolution of your soul and to the greater good. Living in this state of grace was true freedom for you, freedom from the bonds of the ego, worldly expectations, and instinctive reactions that had previously governed your life. Now your every action was a reflection of divine love, a clear expression of your true spiritual essence. Emotions don't control your behavior at all. Not at all. When you are aligned with God's will, your emotions no longer control your behavior. Instead, you are guided by a deep sense of peace and clarity that comes from this divine connection. Emotions such as fear, anger, and doubt lose their power over you because your trust in God's plan provides a solid foundation for your actions. You become able to respond to life's challenges calmly and wisely, knowing that your behavior reflects a greater purpose. This spiritual strength allows you to act with love and compassion, regardless of the emotional storms that may arise. This transformation didn't happen overnight, but was a continuous process of spiritual growth. The more you surrendered and trusted in God's guidance, the more you realized that your emotions didn't have to dictate your actions. You learned to observe your emotions without getting carried away by them, cultivating an inner resilience that was nourished by faith. With this practice, you develop not only the ability to remain stable in turbulent situations, but also the ability to clearly discern what was guided by the Spirit and what was merely a passing emotional reaction. On the spiritual path, it was vital to remember that you were not your emotions. You were the consciousness that experienced them. True freedom came when you didn't just understand this intellectually, but when you lived it in every moment of your day. This alignment with divine will not only pacified your emotions, but also expanded your capacity to serve others in a more authentic and loving way, transforming not only yourself, but also those around you. Mockers and scoffers have no effect on you. When you are aligned with God's will, the opinion and judgment of others lose their power over your life. Your strength comes from within, anchored in the certainty that you are following a divine and blessed path. Take the example of Noah. He was ridiculed and mocked while building the ark, because people didn't believe his warnings about the coming flood. However, Noah remained steadfast in God's will, continued to work on the ark, and saved his family and animals from the devastating waters. Another example is that of Nehemiah. When he was leading the rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls, he faced opposition and mockery from Sanballat and Tobiah. They tried to discourage him and hinder his work. But Nehemiah, confident in his God-given mission, ignored the scoffers and carried on with determination until the work was completed. Jesus Christ is also a perfect example. During his ministry, he faced scorn and derision, especially during his crucifixion. People mocked him, saying, "If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." But Jesus kept his focus on the Father's will, fulfilling his mission to save humanity through his sacrifice on the cross. These examples show that by being aligned with God, you can ignore mockery and criticism. Your strength and purpose come from your faith and trust in God, allowing you to remain steadfast on your path, regardless of adversity. You stay close to your purpose and never allow yourself to be distracted. This steadfastness is an essential characteristic of the chosen. When your focus is aligned with God's will, distractions and criticism lose their power over you. For example, Joseph in Egypt, who despite being sold into slavery by his own brothers and then unjustly imprisoned, never lost sight of the purpose God had for him. He maintained his integrity and faith and was eventually elevated to a position of great authority, saving many from starvation. Similarly, David faced many adversities, including persecution from King Saul. However, he remained faithful to his calling and purpose, trusting in God's promises. Eventually, David became king of Israel and fulfilled the destiny God had planned for him. These biblical examples show that by staying focused on your divine purpose, you are able to overcome obstacles and ignore those who try to divert you from the path. Your faith and determination enable you to keep going, regardless of difficulties or criticism, until you reach the destination that God has prepared for you. You are not afraid of Satan. You are aware of his schemes when you are awake, when you are asleep. You can defeat him at any time. This confidence comes from your intimate connection with God, who equips you with the wisdom and strength to recognize and resist the enemy's temptations and traps. Look at the example of Jesus during his 40-day fast in the desert. Satan tempted Jesus in his most vulnerable moments, offering power, wealth, and other worldly temptations. However, Jesus stood firm, using God's word to refute each temptation. His awareness of Satan's schemes and his unwavering faith in God enabled him to defeat the enemy. Another example is the Apostle Paul. In his letters, he talks about constantly being in a spiritual battle against the forces of evil, but he was always courageous and confident in God's protection and power. Paul urged Christians to put on the whole armor of God to resist the devil's snares. These examples show that by being aware of Satan's schemes and trusting in God's power, you can defeat any spiritual attack. Your faith and constant vigilance ensure that you remain protected and empowered to overcome any challenge the enemy may bring. You have a unique view of the world, seeing connections and opportunities where others see confusion. For example, you can look at a complicated situation at work and immediately see a solution that others have missed. Your wisdom comes from deep reflection and a broad perspective that encompasses a variety of knowledge and life experiences. This allows you to deal easily with complex situations, making decisions that benefit you and those around you. Your ability to understand difficult ideas and explain them simply makes you a valuable guide and mentor. For example, you can explain a complicated math concept to someone in a way that makes everything seem clear and easy. You turn the complicated into something easy, which attracts people looking for advice. Your wisdom is not just intellectual. You also understand people and know what to say or do to help others grow and learn. You are also humble and patient. For example, when someone is having difficulties, you offer help in a kind and non-judgmental way. You know that knowledge is infinite, and that there is always more to learn. This attitude makes you approachable, but it's important to respect their ideas and not underestimate their willingness to help. When people interact with you, it's crucial to listen carefully and value the wisdom you share, as it comes from a deep understanding and compassion. Underestimating or challenging your intellect is a mistake, not because you get angry, but because you deprive others of a valuable source of wisdom. Your understanding is not a weapon, but a bridge that connects different thoughts, people, and emotions. For example, by explaining a complex problem clearly, you help people understand each other better and work together more effectively. Your words touch deeply, instilling greater understanding and compassion in those who listen. Your influence is impressive on many levels. You have the rare gift of connecting with people from all walks of life, making your impact felt in different parts of society. Your ideas and actions can inspire change, stimulate creativity, and even alter cultural norms. This influence is not forced, but arises naturally from your authenticity and deep convictions. Your influence goes beyond words. It is visible in your actions, in the causes you defend, and in the quiet but powerful way you lead by example. You have a special talent for identifying and nurturing the potential of others, often becoming a catalyst for the growth and development of those around you. This guidance can be direct, such as mentoring, or indirect, simply by living in a way that inspires others to strive to improve. You understand that true influence lies not in controlling others, but in empowering them to find their own paths. What's more, your influence often has a ripple effect, where the impact of your actions extends far beyond the immediate consequences. A single act of kindness or shared wisdom can trigger a series of events that result in positive changes in unexpected ways. Therefore, approaching you with respect and an open mind not only honors your role in our lives, but also allows us to participate in the positive change you are promoting in the world. You are not satisfied with simply following daily habits. While some find comfort in predictable routines, you sense that there is something greater, beyond the ordinary. The idea of conforming and following society's rules seems like a trap to you. You understand that life is more than a routine job and fulfilling social expectations. This realization stimulates your desire to explore, push boundaries, and seek deeper experiences. You seek authenticity, meaning and purpose, which leads you to a life full of adventure, discovery, and self-expression. The tribulations of your journey have played a crucial role, acting as a sieve that separates the chaff from the wheat. When faced with challenges, you were led to look inwards, confronting your weaknesses and limitations. This process of self-confrontation purified and refined you, removing what was not essential from your life. Just as wheat emerges cleaner after passing through the sieve, you also emerged stronger and more focused on your purpose. In Romans, Paul reminds us that tribulation produces perseverance. Through adversity, you were challenged to develop greater resilience and perseverance. It was in moments of difficulty that you discovered your true inner strength, strengthening your faith and determination. Just as wheat that has been threshed emerges more robust, you have grown spiritually and emotionally through your tribulations. Through your journey with the Lord, you have learned that everything that is harmful or damaging needs to be removed and completely eradicated from your life. Although no one likes to face such situations, the truth is that everyone encounters tribulations. Even our Lord Jesus faced afflictions and anguish despite being divine. However, what you have also learned, and what has brought you great comfort, is that tribulation does not only bring pain and suffering. On the contrary, it produces perseverance, experience, and hope. You have the ability to feel comfortable being different from others, which reflects a deep self-acceptance and inner strength. From a young age, you may have noticed that you didn't fit into the usual social groups, with interests and perspectives that differed from the majority. This feeling of being outside the box is no accident. It's a sign that you have a special purpose and a unique journey to follow. In the Bible, you can see parallels with figures like Elijah, who felt isolated in his mission to confront the prophets of Baal and lived in solitude in the desert before receiving new directions from God. Likewise, Daniel, even in captivity in Babylon, maintained his faith and his distinctive practices, standing out for his integrity and divine vision. While many strive to fit in, adapting their identities to be accepted by society, you have always followed your own path, even if it meant being different or alone. This willingness to walk your own path demonstrates an inner strength and confidence in who you are and what you believe in. While others may have chosen conventional paths or traditional lifestyles, you may have felt a calling to explore less common areas, such as spirituality or creativity, challenging established norms. You understand that your value lies in being true to yourself, just like the apostles who followed Christ's mission, even in the face of adversity. Your authenticity is a mark of your chosen soul, guided by a greater purpose that transcends social expectations. This is reflected in your daily interactions, where you may choose to avoid superficial social activities and seek moments of solitude for reflection and spiritual growth. You value deep and meaningful connections over superficial relationships. When you face rejection or misunderstanding, you don't let yourself get discouraged. Instead, you see these experiences as confirmations that you are following the right path, similar to how the prophets faced rejection and adversity on their missions. For you, being a chosen one often means following lonely paths, but always with a clear purpose and divine direction. Your ability to embrace your uniqueness and feel comfortable in your difference reflects your deep connection with the divine. You know that you were created for a special purpose, and this understanding gives you the strength to move forward, even when the path seems isolated. You don't conform to the world's standards, because you know that your destiny is guided by higher forces. While many people fear solitude and do everything they can to avoid it, you see these moments of isolation as valuable opportunities for growth and reflection. This ability to find value in solitude is indicative of your deep spiritual connection and the unique journey you are destined to follow. During periods of isolation, you don't feel abandoned or lost. On the contrary, you perceive these moments as sacred times to reconnect with your inner self and the divine. Instead of feeling restless or anxious, you embrace calm and silence, using them as tools for introspection and self-knowledge. Away from the distractions and demands of the outside world, you focused on understanding your emotions, thoughts, and God's will for your life. This retreat allowed you to undergo a spiritual purification, eliminating old beliefs, habits, and everything that no longer served your divine purpose. During isolation, you discovered or developed spiritual gifts, using this time to practice and integrate these abilities without external interference. This ability to turn isolation into a time of growth also reflects your independence and self-reliance. You don't depend on the constant validation or company of others to feel complete. Instead, you find strength within yourself and in your connection with the divine. This gives you a solid and unshakable foundation, allowing you to face challenges with confidence and clarity. Without the constant presence of external support, you have learned to depend entirely on divine guidance and support, which has significantly deepened your faith and strengthened your ability to maintain serenity and confidence, even in the most turbulent times. You have a deep connection with God, a remarkable aspect of being chosen. This relationship goes beyond regular religious practices. It is a personal and sincere interaction with the divine that fills your life with peace and purpose. As one of the chosen, you often experience God's presence through unexpected events, assistance from strangers, coincidences that line up perfectly, dreams with clear messages, repeating numbers, or the way children and animals are drawn to you. This connection encourages an ongoing conversation with God, where you feel His guidance, hear His words in your soul, and see His answers in everyday moments. This dialogue shapes your daily decisions and strengthens your faith, assuring you of God's constant presence and responsiveness. This relationship also transforms you. It leads to spiritual growth that refines your character and purifies your spirit, helping you to exhibit qualities such as love, compassion, patience, and humility. This change not only improves your life, but also positively influences those around you, spreading light in every interaction. One of the greatest benefits of this connection is the peace it brings. No matter what is happening around you, you feel a deep inner calm that goes beyond comprehension. A peace that comes from trusting completely in God's plan and care, helping you to face challenges with calm and hope. In addition, being chosen gives you a clear sense of purpose. You recognize your specific mission and know that every step is aligned with this divine purpose, guiding your choices and leading a life that makes an impact. So, my friends, your journey has already begun. You are progressing in your calling, shaped for this mission since dawn. The world is your arena. Like a sentinel, you are ever vigilant. You will discover your core identity, because that is the essence of your life. You were destined for this, but bear in mind that God envisioned your path even before you were born. Your purpose is woven into your very genes. The chosen carry a distinct genetic blueprint. You were molded from a singular substance. You have been endowed with extraordinary capabilities. The Lord Jesus has equipped you for this fight. Whether alone or with companions, it doesn't matter. You don't need external validation. You don't need support because you stand strong. You remain unyielding, unshaken by trials. That's what the Lord expects of you, what He looks for in you. He perseveres beyond the first trial. Satan will seek to manipulate your vulnerabilities. It will be as if a thief has entered your space, a thief in search of your most cherished possessions, identifying weaknesses to use against you and bring you down. Fight these vulnerabilities. They will surface. Expel them from your life. Don't call yourself a warrior for the Lord if you harbor hidden weaknesses or if fear chains you. Fear stems from incomplete faith in the Lord. If you allow fear to penetrate your heart, you are paving the way for the adversary. A courageous spirit is vital, a heavenly gift, just as Moses endured. Moses confronted Pharaoh, the desert, the doubts of his people, and did not falter. Let go of your fears, for they can stand in the way of your genuine potential. You have navigated arduous and demanding periods in your life, all serving a divine purpose. The chosen are purified by adversity. Like any warrior, you needed training. You needed to be molded to serve the Lord. Now take a moment to look at yourself. You are a magnificent, extraordinary, and supernatural being, here to enact God's will. If you found this message resonant and are eager for more, let me know in the comments section. If you're ready for part 2, just write part 2.